What's up, YouTube? Today we are taking a look at how to install a TRD spoiler or Tsunami spoiler on a Toyota Celica. Now let's quickly close the garage. We're back, and this time with the camera not flipped like this, but like this, because I messed up last time. So I could move slightly more forward. Yeah, you know what, we're gonna do that. Move the car forward, because we do not need the front side, any of the engine bay today. Today we are focusing on this. Now, this is a video for any off-brand TRD products like this one. It is a replica. And for all the authentic parts, because they all are basically the same except for actual hardware itself, which I'll go over in this video. And yes, I know, it is still very, very dirty, which is because it's very snowy outside. But without further ado, let's get into this. Now, the first step you're going to want to do is pop this. And if you have your old factory spoiler on, it will obviously stay up like this, and same with this one. Although, every aftermarket spoiler is heavier, so I'm going to have to replace these eventually. Oily. Don't know when. I'm going to do it at some point. And the first thing you want to do is go to this handle on the passenger side and unscrew the Phillips screwdriver, or Phillips screw in there. That took absolutely forever to find one of these, by the way. Just to let you know, that took me like 5 minutes. Couldn't find one. Anyways, you're going to go ahead with a Phillips. This is what a Phillips looks like if you don't know. And take that off. Oh, and a recommended thing would also be like a light focus down here. I don't have one, so I'm just going to have to deal with it. But recommended would be a light so that you can see what you're doing. Here's what that screw looks like, in case you want to know. I'm probably going to end up replacing this one. It's kind of disgusting. Now, once you're done with that, you want to grab either this corner or that corner, doesn't really matter which, and just give it a good tug. That will come falling out. It's because you took the screw out. Now, there's clips under this that hold it in. If you just keep pulling and tugging, eventually they will come out. There we go. And here's what that bottom part looks like for you. There'll be usually two there, one up top, and oh no, I'm not missing it, one right here. Now, once you pop this off, there are screws up. I'm gonna need a flashlight. That took painstakingly long. That's okay. If you look on those two holes, inside them there are going to be bolts. Now, from factory, those are 10 mils that are holding in the factory spoiler. Again, if you have a factory spoiler. Some of them don't, and you have to pre-drill holes that will align with this. That is kind of annoying. So if you have that, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. And it is the exact same on the other side, with the two holes being right here and right here. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and take off my spoiler because I'm keeping this one. This one is just for your pure information. Now, if your spoiler has a third brake or fourth brake light, you're going to want to wire it. It will come down on this side through the fiberglass, plastic, I don't know. Come through one of those, and you will have to probably do some custom wiring to wire it in to right here. Now, for some reason, mine doesn't work. It's getting voltage, but it doesn't work. So that's one of the projects that I'm going to be looking at in the near future, because it's not really that annoying. It probably just looks bad on the road, but whatever. But yeah, once you wire this in, dropping it down is not easy, by the way, like at all. You're going to want to custom plug it like with something really firm, or otherwise it's just gonna loosen up, and try to tuck it in there so that you avoid rattling. Now, this is not in order by any means. Once you get your factory spoiler off, make sure to assemble your new spoiler. If it's a TRD one, make sure to assemble it not on the car, because it's not going to line that well, and the plastic bit is just a pain to try to hold both pieces apart. It's not fun. Do it, well, you can do it how you want. I would assemble it otherwise on the floor or on the table or something like that. This one, the screws are there that are screwed right into that, keep holding it there. For the TRD one, they'll be right here. For the authentic one, you just pop the little cap off. The screws are there, and it aligns with the plastic. Once you assemble the spoiler and put it on the car, you are going to want to make sure that it is really snug with these bolts right here, as it'll just rattle a lot. And by a lot, I mean a lot, because it's right near the exhaust, and the exhaust goes blah, 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 blah. So yeah, funny noise there. But once you have it on, another tip that I will show you at the end, or right now actually, I just don't want to squish that. Okay, we're good. I put silicone underneath this before I put it on, and the silicone, you can kind of see, I haven't really wiped it off yet. I haven't really tried. You can get it with some cleaner and some other stuff, but putting silicone right here is going to help with rust. Water won't be able to get under, it won't be able to buff up, and it'll just stop rust. And on a car that's very old and made of, yeah, don't really know what it's made of. That's okay. Fiberglass. It'll just help with rust. It will. It has for me, and this is a big tip that I would recommend for literally anybody. It's gonna look bad. You're gonna have to polish up around the edges here, but it's going to help the longevity of your trunk, and it will help it not rust out. Now, putting this it all back together is the exact opposite of what you literally just did, except this time you have your new spoiler on, which mine I didn't change, it's just information. But once you have them all secured and fastened in there and plugged into there, you're gonna want to put this back on. Now, the one issue that I've kind of seen with these in the past is putting them back on is actually kind of difficult, because you have to find where they align. Once you get one little pin thing in, like that and like that, now you want to make sure that you hold it right in the center. Just give it a quick little punch, and it's going to hold it in place. You don't want to punch it too hard to the point that you're breaking it. Just punch it to the point. That one's not aligned. Punch it to the point where it, is nice and snug. That came undone, did it not? No, it did not. And then once you have the two corners on, just go ahead and just kind of pat it. Done. Now once you have that piece back on, now is when I do the what even is this? Like a little handle thing, I guess, in case you get stuck in the trunk. Kind of weird. All you're going to want to do is just slide that right like that. There's like a little latch or something back here. You'll hear it just kind of. And now you go, ow! That has happened many times. I've hit my head. It doesn't really help. You grab the screw you took out and you screw it back in. Got it screwed right back in, and it's in there good. Gotta remove this light. Now at this point, I would close the trunk, and most people would say, oh, done with it. Well, again, I would probably go over this with like a very fine paintbrush or or even just with your finger, and just go across it with silicone, and just to get a little more silicone on there so that it holds down. For one, it's going to help with stability, and it's going to help with water not getting under it, because who wants rust? No one. I have a little piece right here. That's getting fixed this summer, probably. I'm thinking I'm going to buff it up. I might have to use a little Bondo to reform the fender a little bit. I don't know, it's going to be what it's going to be. I do want that gone, though, because if that spreads, it's going to drive me insane. That is the only spot of rust I have on this car, which is pretty good if it's just that. It's been undercoated, I think from the factory, or the guy got it done instantly. I'm not the first owner, obviously. But yeah, that should conclude this video. Last video, I said in this video, I would explain what my end goal was for this car. Now, first off, this transmission has got to go. There's nothing wrong with it. Literally nothing wrong. I just want a manual. Don't want the auto, so that involves me pulling the transmission and taking out the ECU and swapping it to a GT manual ECU. Now, that's not fun by any means necessary. Why do I want a manual? Well, one, good skill to have. Two, it's better with a turbo. Yes, that is my end goal for this car. It will be turboed. Is it going to be difficult? Yes. Is there a turbo kit that you can get online? Also, yes. It doesn't risk blowing the engine as long as you don't put too much boost. Now, if I blow the engine, I'll put the better one in, because the turbo kits are compatible with the two, which is good. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. The next video, I'm thinking I'm going to do how to either do the exhaust or the cold air intake. Gonna figure out which one is easier at the time. If it's still wet like this, probably gonna do the intake. If it's dry, gonna go with the exhaust. Once again, thank you guys for watching, if you have watched this far, and I will see you in the next one.